All right, let's get to it, Bukola.
We're spoiled for choice this morning as far as trends are concerned, but
maybe we start from that very first one to that clarification by the governor.
Okay.
Of Niger State.
Niger State governor.
Indeed. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
So we'll check. Yesterday we talked about the governor's decision to cut dreadlocks. He said what he said. Now he said that's not what he meant. But let's take a listen to, will I call it a rebuttal or clarification in this sense? Let's watch.
On hooliganism, and people misconstrued our words for people who have dreadlocks. We don't have problem with dreadlocks, but we have problem with the cult here with dreadlocks. So if you have dreadlocks and you have business, please come to Niger State. All that is a media propaganda. We are not driving dreadlocks from Niger State. We are only driving that cult that is.
All right. So, Mr. Governor, sorry, it's not a media propaganda. You said what you said. We heard what we heard. What we expected you to have done, Governor Umabago, is to apologize for whatever you... Maybe you wanted to say it differently, but it came out the way we saw it. So there's no media propaganda. Nobody twisted your words. You said, well, if you see them with dreadlock in Mina, arrest them, cut the hair, or barb, use the word barb.
Yeah. Find them.
Arrest the barber.
Arrest the barber, cut the hair, and find them. So there's no media propaganda. You can't twist it. You said what you said. So I expected you to have apologized or explain yourself differently, but saying it's media propaganda, that's on you. There's no way you can rebut that.
I think it's really unfair to say that. What we did was really report, except you're referring to other people, but what we did was report what you said as you said it and got responses from Nigerians. And you know, when they said that the Mina airport is an alternative to Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport in Abuja, a lot of people are worried that if they divert if they say you land in Mina and you have dreadlocks, for example, would I be in trouble? So he had to quickly make that clarification because it's bad for business. It's bad for, I mean, people
don't wasn't well thought through.
Exactly. So I think that's how you should have said it in the first place. We're here for the good of Niger State and Niger people. We understand you have security challenges, and you said it, that some of them carry locks. But it's important to contextualize it rather than make that sweeping statement.
Well, we're grateful for the clarification. At least we now see the story in context. There is a cult, according to what the governor said, that, you know, goes with locks in Niger State, and that is what they're after. And we can see that the governor has issued some other stringent, you know, measures as far as security is concerned. Some of them are also debatable as far as they infringe on fundamental human rights of persons. For instance, if you're bailing someone who has been caught with kidnapping or something, you will also be arrested also. I'm not quite sure what those measures are, but I'm hearing also that there are more stringent measures from Niger State. We need more of that resolve and strength of character from governors in terms of how they approach tackling security. And of course, they need to also hold the federal government to account in terms of the need to provide reinforcement, recruitment for the police force in their states of the federation. The politicking, as far as security is concerned, is doing more harm than good in states. And we can see it playing out in Benue, in Plateau, in other states of the Federation. But let's go on with the trends this morning. What are you saying about this story?
I think we'll go to the next video. I think there's a video that has to do with persons, a motorist lying under a car to resist arrest by VIO. This is a common scene in Lagos. So let's take a look at this particular video as well. Well, so I'm sure you would have seen this kind of situation. So I guess the VIO, they are confused as how to navigate this part. They don't want to hurt the guy. The guy is not ready to go anywhere. Well, this is a common sense. I'm even suspecting he may be nude in that sense. He may not be wearing anything.
Because we've seen that time and again.
Yeah, we've seen that time and again. So interesting scene in Lagos. But I think we want to commend the maturity of the VIO officials in handling this particular situation. We don't know how it ended, but we just wanted you to see that this is also Lagos.
We must say that we need to really pay attention to the worthiness of vehicles, commercial vehicles particularly, because, hey, you can't take it away from the fact that VIO needs to do its job as well. Yes, there are some excesses from time to time, but this is a major issue. Was this vehicle roadworthy? If it wasn't, well, yes, you can lay on the floor and all of that, but action should be taken at the end of the day. Let's move on now away from road transport now to water transport. Well, a ferry from Ikorodu-Lekki broke down due to fuel shortage. And yeah, this is not a tourist trip. This is not some sort of sightseeing for the waters. You can see the passengers right there speaking about what exactly happened. So let's take a listen.
There's no for yeah. I want you to pay number or don't pay number so I don't know the thing. On a guy. Mama, where live my waist risky life.
Okay.
We need to translate first.
So Bukana and Kaide are laughing. I have no idea what she's saying. So
all right, let's try to translate. So the lady first started by saying, if I had known that is this man's ferry, apparently maybe it's notorious for that, I would have jumped in the first place. She says, where would we find a filling station? So it's a serious issue, but the way she spoke about it, you know, I'm sorry we're laughing, but you know, and it goes to the comments. The first one saying that they are so calm. Their calmness should be studied.
Yes. They need to be calm. Because I think I also heard one of the passengers say, where do we alight here?
What option do we have, right?
Oh dear.
Okay.
Pardon us, we're laughing, but you know, it's funny.
I hope they got to land safe.
Certainly,
and all of that.
We hope so. But it also speaks to what we're experiencing as far as transportation is concerned. The other day it was a train, that broke down somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and we saw passengers alighting and walking, right beside bushes in what seems to be reminiscent, fearfully so, of experiences from the past. And this is certainly not a bitter taste in the mouth as far as transportation is concerned. Okay. Let's go on to the next one.
Yeah, let's head out to the Pope will be buried. The Pope died on Easter Monday. Pope Francis. He will be buried on Saturday, so there has been this procession, but the presidential candidate of the Labour Party had actually gone to part of the activities lined up ahead of that funeral, so that's Peter Obi. I think that should be Cardinal Arinze, who is not going to be part of the conclave this time, because he's over 80 years old. I think it's about 92 or so. It's only persons below 80 that will be, so.
And we have 16 Africans that will be part of that conclave, and one of them is from Nigeria. That would be Archbishop Okpaleke, who would also be part of the conclave that will be voting to elect a new pope. And there are projections that we just might have the first leader of the Vatican from Africa. That's not certain yet, but such projections are worth considering, looking at.
Well, so everybody's hopeful. Asia, Americas again, Africa. Yeah. They're all hopeful that the next pope. But what we want is a good pope at the end of the day. Yeah. We just want a good pope that represents the faith. Yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back after this break, it's going to be time for us to talk about what happened in Delta State yesterday. The defection of Governor Sheriff Uborowore, former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa, who was a vice presidential candidate, as well as other persons in the party in the state. Join us again.